right, so, eyes on me please. Lay your hands down. We're going to be using these in just a little while. First, before we use those, I'm going to read a story to you. Just like I told you, every time you hear a word that you don't know or you're unfamiliar with, I want you to raise that hand. So everybody show me right now. Practice raising it and put it down. If you can't use the hand responsibly, I'll take it from you and you can just raise your plain old boring hand. Okay? So here we go. Listen carefully to my story. Here we go. I'm going to be watching for those hands. It says, Harper looked outside and thought, oh no, not rain again. This was just not light rain. It was a torrential downpour. It was summer vacation, and the fourth day in a row of rain. Harper sat down at the kitchen table feeling glum. Her head was slouched down, and she had a frown on her face. Over the past 3 rainy days, she did everything she could think of that was inside. Her mom saw her sad face at the table and asked her why she was sulky. She said that she was tired of the rain and wanted to play outside since it was summer. Harper's mom had a surprise. She told Harper to go get her bathing suit on. Harper thought to herself, my bathing suit? What could I possibly do in my bathing suit? Play in the rain? She did what her mother told her though, and she came downstairs with her bathing suit under her clothes. Her mom told her to jump into the car. Minutes later, they were at her cousin's house. Dominic, her cousin, came scurrying out of the house as fast as he could so that he would not get too wet. He hopped in the car, and her mom pushed on the pedals and accelerated as soon as he buckled his seatbelt. 20 minutes passed by, and they arrived at an indoor water park. What? Harper and Dominic were jubilant and excited. Here, lay your hands down. So the things that I saw you raise your hands for were the following words. Torrential. Show me if you raised your hand on the word torrential. Okay. I saw 2 or 3 hands. You can put them down. 2 or 3 hands for the word glum. Raise your hand if that was you that raised it for glum. Okay. I can't remember how many, but a few raised their hand for sulking. Sulking. Okay. Another word that you raised your hands for was the word scurrying. Scurrying. Good. And the last one that I saw hands go up for, no, there were 2 more. Accelerated. And the last one I think every hand went up for was jubilant. Very good. Now lay those hands back down for me. Oftentimes, in a story, we're going to encounter words that we do not know. Lay those hands on the corner of your desk and put your hands in your lap. Sit like a scholar for me, please. Hands like this are in your lap. I want to see your faces. And I don't want you to be distracted. Oftentimes, you're going to be reading a story, and that story is going to have words you've never seen or heard before. But if you will listen to me today, I'm going to give you some tools. You know how a lot of things we've been doing this year, like being detectives or solving mysteries? I'm going to give you some tools to help you solve the mystery of those unfamiliar words, like jubilant that we just read. So there are certain things hidden in stories called context clues. Now, here's a perfect example of what I'm going to be talking about today. Right here, hidden within that word context, that you may not know the definition of, you may not be able to tell me what is context. But you can see a word hidden in there, can't you? Cameron, what word do you see?
Text.
Text. That's right. Hidden right there in that word is another word. And we know that text, like when Mrs. Lewis says, look back at the text, I'm asking you to do what? Look back at the context or the, remember our magic treehouse book, magic school bus book that we read last week? And we had to keep looking back in the story to find the answer. The story is the text. It's the text. So when I'm asking you or telling you to look for context clues, I'm asking you to read around that word within the story. So we can look for example clues like these. I want you to repeat these after me. Eyes here. There's 3 people that did not look at me when I said that. Repeat these example clues after me. Such as. Like. For example. Including. When I see those words, those are clues for me. They're going to help me understand the unfamiliar word. There's also sometimes that we can do synonyms or antonyms. Show me synonyms. Show me. What do we say? Synonyms are the same. Antonyms are the opposite. Pause just a second while I answer this phone call. I'm sorry. Hello? Hi. That's okay. I do, but I was not here Friday, so I didn't on Friday. Yes, I think on Tuesday I clocked in as like athletic or something instead of tutoring. It like glitched on me and I didn't realize it until I was clocking out. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. So one more time. Synonyms are the
Same.
Antonyms are the
Opposite.
So you can look for synonyms and antonyms in there. It might say something like, she was jubilant or excited. That's what it means. Jubilant means excited. So we can search throughout that text for synonyms or antonyms. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Eyes right here. We can do what Cameron just did. And we can look for word part clues. Just like he did right here in this word context. We can look for root words. We can look for prefixes. And we can look for suffixes to help us figure out what the word means. Cameron was able to look right up here within the word context and grab out a word that he knew, text. That gives us an idea of what the word means. It may not be perfect. We may not be exactly right, but it can get us going down the right path. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we're going to talk about, and I know this is kind of hard to see. I just made these up. The 5S process. I was thinking about this, and I thought, when I'm teaching about context clues, that's one thing. But what do I do whenever I find an unfamiliar word? What steps do I go through? And so I thought to myself, well, I always stop first. I stop and I reread that sentence. Because if I'm reading a sentence and I run across a bunch of words I don't know, does it do me any good to just keep reading?
No.
No. Because I don't know what I'm reading, do I?
No.
It's not making any sense to me. So I'm going to stop and read the sentence again. The second S is search for clues. So stop, reread the sentence. If I still don't know, then I'm going to search for clues. I'm going to read that text, and I'm going to see if I can find anything that helps me. Next, if neither of those things have helped me, then I read the sentence and I make a smart guess. I think, okay, most of the story has been about this. So maybe that word means something that goes along with that. Maybe. Maybe it doesn't. But that at least gets me thinking down the right path. Next, I take that smart guess that I made and I put it in place of the word I don't know. And I ask myself, did that make sense? That's my fourth S. Does it make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, then I go start the whole thing again. And I try a new word. And I say, well, maybe it means this. Right? So if in this story, it says that her mom, they jumped in the car and her mom accelerated. What does that mean? Some of you raised your hand because you didn't recognize the word. What's a smart guess for accelerated? Mom accelerated. I want a smart guess for that. Camden, what would you say?
Got excited.
Okay. We jumped in the car and Mom got excited. That kind of works, doesn't it? Who else has another smart guess? Holly. Zoomed. I love that word. That sounds like a
Synonym.
What does it sound like? A synonym. It sounds like a synonym to me. They're excited. They pick up the cousin Dominic. They jump in the car and Mom accelerated. Does that one seem to work to you? Yeah. What, Clark, what would you say?
Started going.
Started going. They jumped in the car, Mom accelerated. They jumped in the car, Mom started going. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Good one. Micah.
She floored it.
She floored it. They jumped in the car and Mom floored it. Does that work? Yes. So what we just did is we kind of went through this process to figure out that unfamiliar word. So I want to see a thumbs up if you understand what we talked about. Okay? Kind of the halfway, sideways thumb, and kind of get it, kind of down. Thumbs down if you think you need more help. Brilliant. I love it. So I'm going to give you your worksheet and see. Good job. Leave your hands right where they are, please.